PSI, so we're not even running 40 PSI in the fuel pressure. So we need to update, we need to up the fuel pressure some more. All right, so we took it for a drive, and you've seen that we had less than 40 PSI fuel pressure. That's because I'm getting a little leak coming from here. I don't know if it's coming from the -6 line or it's coming from actually here. But you see this side right here, we actually put a washer right here and then put this fitting in here. And this was leaking before we put that washer in there. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to try to take this off and then re-put some stuff on there and then put a washer on there and try to tighten it up just to see. As you can see, if I put my finger underneath here, you can see I got a little bit of, it's not bad right now, but it's when it's got pressure. I mean, it doesn't come out. It's not dripping or anything. It's just leaking a little bit. So that's where our pressure's coming from. I adjusted this and I got it up to right about 40. And then I backed it out just a little bit and then went up to 60. So I know that there's something was leaking here. So we found out from there. So we need to do that. We need to hook up or re-hook up the header to the cat because I know it's leaking there. I can smell it, and I wasn't able to do it. Corey did it. So I'm just going to have to go through the exhaust real quick, make sure everything's good. We don't have a leak because we're going to get a false reading for the air-fuel ratio, and it's not going to get tuned right. Okay, and we got to do the timing. We bought a timing gun, so I got to do the timing right down here. You can see that right there needs to be adjusted just by looking at it. I know that it's off. We had it adjusted and we had it marked, but I had to, we took it off and when we painted it and stuff like that, and we had the head off. So I took this off when we had that the problem with the cams. So we redid that, and then we put the Gates fuel, the Gates tensioner and everything on there, and then the Gates racing belt, the timing belt. So, and we're gonna have to do that. So those three things need to be done before we get it tuned. So right now, I'm gonna take this off and take this off right here. I'm gonna put something underneath there so it'll drip all the fuel out. I think that's the only spot because it was leaking there and it was leaking from the injector, but we actually got some spacers in there, so it's all good to go. It's all tight. The injectors move. All the injectors move back and forth. See, like this one and this one. This one's a little bit loose, but I mean, it's not leaking, so I'm gonna leave it alone. So those are the three things that we need to do before we can get it tuned. I messaged my tuner today, so he asked me I told him about the exhaust leak, and then about the timing, and then about the fuel pressure. So those are the three things that we have to do before we can get it tuned. So hopefully next video we'll get some tuning done, and hopefully it'll be tuned and ready to go, and then we can start the body works. All right, so now that I got that off, this is an 18 millimeter, and then that was a 19 millimeter. So I got that off. It's sitting right here. So I got the stuff off of it. Here's the washer that I'm going to use right here. I'm going to use that washer, and then I'm going to use some of this Teflon tape right here. So this is Thread Master. So this is for like gas and oil and all that stuff. So this is the really good stuff to use. So I'm going to put the washer on there and then put some Teflon tape on both these sides. And then I'm going to put it back in, and then we'll see if it's leaking. All right, so they got the washer on there. You can see the washer. It tightened up a lot more now, so we should be good. And then I tightened this one out. So like I said, this one's a 19 millimeter and this is an 18 millimeter. So we got those. This looks like that now, so we should be good. We shouldn't get any leak from there and there. We should be good now. So now we can adjust this to for about 40 to 43 PSI. So we'll be good there. So next thing we need to do before we start it up is we need to jack up the car, get underneath there. Corey needs to get underneath there, and then tighten that back down again and put the springs and make sure the springs are with the cat and everything like that, so we can make sure that's good, because I can hear an exhaust leak. I'm going to double check this one down here, but I tightened that one up last time we did this when we did the oil pressure yeah, the ACL high performance oil pump. We did that, so that should be good. We just need to make sure that it's tight here, because there's 3 bolts, and it's not a 4-2-1, or it's not a 4-1, it's a 4-2-1. So you got those 3 bolts right there. So you got one there, one there, and one there, and then it'll go down, and then the 2 will go to your cat. So we need to make sure all that's good, because he had all this off when we pulled the oil pan and redid the oil pan and everything. So you need to take that off to get to the oil sending unit and the oil pump. So everything should be good. That should be good now. So let's go to the exhaust. And then we'll get it timed. We'll move it to 16 degrees. And then we'll check it on the hondata, make sure everything's good on it. And then we need to get something for this too. This piece right here that holds these in place, because these keep popping up. But that should fit like that. We have a carbon fiber one, not a real carbon fiber, but it's just a carbon fiber one. I think it looks a lot better, but we can't find it. So this is the original one that came off the car. So it looks good for now, but I'm thinking I'm going to change that one out. And then we need to get the bar, the strut bar back over there. But other than that, I think we're good. All right, so we had the factory one on from here to there, but I think I like the gold one better. I think I do. And it just needs to be, we just need to take these off. But the clearance for this right here, and then the clearance for the fuel pressure regulator, it's gonna hit if we put this on like this. So I don't know if we're gonna put two bolts on here just like this, or we're just gonna push it all the way down, but it won't go like that. And I don't think we can flip it around. So we're gonna have to see. We have another one. We have another one back here, but I don't think this is the right, one. It might fit up here. I don't know. Let's see if it fits. Let's see if it fits here. No, it doesn't. So this is actually the one that goes to the back. So this is the back one right there. So this will be the back one right there. This one will go to the back on the back piece, and then this one will bolt to the front. So we got to figure out our clearance issues right here and right there, why it's not fitting, because you can see right there, there's a little bit, it's a little bit through there. But if I take these bolts out right here, you can see that it's not all the way down, that I just have it sitting on top of those bolts. I think it's gonna hit there, and then it's gonna hit there. So we gotta figure it out if we're gonna use this one, or if we're gonna use the factory one that came off of it. Should be around here somewhere, but so we're looking at, but I like it. I think it looks really good. Looks really cool. All right, so we got the hondata plugged in. We got the ECU back on. We got the cable hooked up. I got my timing light right here and right there. So I'm gonna get ready and hook it up, and then I'm gonna check everything out, make sure it's good. We can check on here too, on the ignition right there. We can see what it is here. And then these 12mm bolts right there, there's one, and there's two, and there's one on the bottom. So there's 3 that go to the actual distributor, so I can tune it to get it timed right. But I think I got it pretty much good just by eyeballing it. So we'll see how good I was. So Corey's gonna start it up in a minute, and then I'm gonna get the timing light hooked up. Hook this up to number 1 cylinder right here, and there's a number 1 cylinder, which is that one right there. And then your positive and negative, and then it goes to your gun, and then you can check. So I'll be right back. We'll get this timed, and then we'll check the fuel pressure and everything, see if we're good, and then we'll go for a drive, see if the VTEC opens up. All right, so we got it timed. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but I'll try to get it right. Right there, you can see those marks, and you can see the middle. There's 3 marks right there. And that's your timing belt, and your timing cover right there. It should be lined up to the middle for 16 degrees. So right there, I think we're good. So there's your timing light right here. You can see we're hooked up to the battery. Hook it up to number 1 cylinder, and then every time this flashes is when number 1 cylinder sparks. Okay. So you can see, let me try to go down that one more time. You can see, right there, we're about good, okay? All right, and we're at Roll over 40 psi oil pressure. Check for leaks. Nope, no more leaks. We're good. No more leaks. Okay, distributor needs to be tightened up. All right, go ahead and shut it off. All right, so we got it timed. You can see that that mark was in the middle, so that's 16 degrees. Right there, we were running about 1126 RPMs. And the injector cycle and all that kind of stuff. So this is your advanced idle or advanced degree, so that's good. Your 15.02, we're good there. So it was running about 14.5, 14.7 at idle, and that's what we wanted, about 1126. Okay, so I think we're good now. She sounded better with the exhaust now, so that's good. And we got it timed. We got the fuel pressure right, about 43. I think we're ready to get it tuned. I think we're good. Are you ready? Ready. Let's go take it for a drive and see if we can hit VTEC. We're not going to go full VTEC, but we're just going to go enough to see, and then I can enable VTEC right here from the parameters, right there, and then you can go over to, as soon as this comes up, you can go to VTEC right here, and you can enable VTEC. And then an oil with a VTEC oil switch enabled right there. So you want to take this one off. So right now we're at 4807 for VTEC right there. Minimum throttle 50%. Maximum speed 9. Minimum temperature 150. So if it's cold, it won't hit VTEC. So we can always change that later. Okay, let's get rid of this off of here. Okay, so TPS. We're going to realign the TPS one more time just to make sure we're good. So let's read. Yeah, we're good. So that's the same reading. I think we're good. I think we're ready to roll. Starts up so much better now. Look at that front bumper. Now we just need to get that bumper or the hood fixed. She is running so much better. So much better. Nice. All right, let's go for a drive. All right, so we're gonna go for a drive. Right now we got 12.2, so I'm gonna change the fuel right now to about that. As soon as the RPMs go down a little bit, I'll be able to change that. It's running a little bit rich, so I'll take out some fuel. So we'll go over to, I know it's very light inside here, but you'll be able to see right here. So I can go like this area right here, and then go Control J, and then I'll minus like 5%, and then you'll see that change. Kind of went up just a little bit, so we're gonna have to do a little drive. Still cold. Yeah, it's still cold right now, but we'll go for a little drive. We'll populate this table, and then we'll be able to see what we're at and see if we hit VTEC. So everything was good on the ECU. I took it into Millennium Racing today. They said everything was good when they hooked it up, the benchmark to the bench, and then they weren't coming up with the CEL. So they messed around with it, and then the wire that they fixed actually came out. So they redid it for me, so it should be good to go. If you go to parameters right here, and then go to VTEC right here. So we got it set right there, and they got it set at 0 PSI, 0 miles an hour, and this just to weed out the vehicle sensor. Okay, so now when we go back to display right here, we'll have our miles per hour right there, so we'll be able to see if it's actually giving us miles per hour when we drive. So are you ready to go?
You put out your mirror.
Let's go put out the mirror real quick. So we're running a good idle right now, so we're good. So we're gonna do some data logging, and then populate the table here, and then we'll see where we're at. Hopefully everything's good. As soon as he starts driving, it'll populate this table, and it'll tell me what I need to change as far as the air fuel ratio. So we'll see. I really want to get that thing in there. So all right, we'll be back when we do some driving.
And look at that little car. That's a freaking cappuccino.
Is it?
Yes, it is. That's a freaking Honda cappuccino. Behind us.
Behind us?
Yes.
Like a little car.
She's
Integra for a drive, gonna see what the air fuel ratio is at. Corey's driving it right now. We're just doing this right now. We're about to get it tuned next few days, so we just want to do a little run. I kind of got the idle and everything to idle about 1,000 RPMs. So we'll be at 1,100. Yeah, we're about 1,100 RPMs at idle, which is good. It was idling about 750. We got the idle air control valve fixed. We got that done. There's no more oil leaking, no more coolant leaking. We fixed the coolant leak from the throttle body. This is what their air fuel ratio is at right now. It's about 13, 14. So it's running good. I got it somewhat tuned so we could drive it right now, drive it around. We don't have VTEC on, so we can't hit VTEC because I don't want to ruin the engine.
Right there.
That's what is that?
Cappuccino.
Yeah, that's a Honda Cappuccino. Those things are so cool.
Look at the
little small car. I wonder what had in there.
Yeah, right-hand drive too.
Yeah. So we're about 14.7 at idle, which is perfect. That's a perfect idle air fuel ratio. So I think it's running good. Yeah, we need about 13 when you hit the gas, so we need to take a little bit of fuel out. She's running a little rich. She should be running about 15, 16 at going about 60 miles an hour. We're running about 40 right now, so she's running good. Still needs to get tuned, but then we got the K-Pro shifter in, and we're about to put the switches in here.
Oh my goodness! Now the idle came up.
Yeah. I need to check out and see what the air fuel or the fuel pressure's at. See if we're about 43. Because now we got the fuel leaks all taken care of, so that's good. And we got the front bumper on, the back bumper on. Now we're just going for a quick little drive. Just warm it up some, get the battery voltage up. Yeah, you can tell it's kind of bogging out a little bit. You can see right there. She's really rich. Now it's 22.4. When you let off the gas, it's fine. So yeah, it's a little hot in here. This freaking air runs. This heat's hot. What oil pressure are we at? 60. Can you stop and go back? We'll see what it's at. We're at 60. That's good. She should come up a little bit more.
20. Yeah, she's went back down.
But she's idling good though.
Yeah, she's idling good.
And we're about almost 180 on ECT temperature. So we're doing really good. It's running a